Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Thursday, August 12th. And on the weekly chart here, just as you know, we're looking at wave 4 here to wave 5 up through here, which can be the top of another large cycle. But I'm starting to view the situation as wave 1 and pulling back for wave 2 and heading higher. But that's very debatable and I need to gather more evidence. But I want to put it there so we can start discussing it. Bob Pritchard feels that this will be the top of the market. We'll be going into a bear market for 40, 50 years or so. But as always, we'll just take things as they come. He hasn't always been right, as good as he is. And he's certainly been a flagship, carrying the flag from Bolton and Frost and those guys that took it over from Elliott and so on. So he's done a fantastic job and grateful that he's done what he's done. So this wave 1 and 2 here, we're not quite as long as we want to be as yet with our little yardstick here. We want really wave 3 to be longer. It's really hugging the top end of the trend line here. So it's as sluggish as it has been over the last sort of good few days. It is still in a strong position here. So yeah, not at wave 3 yet for this, but it doesn't have to be, wave 3 doesn't have to be as long as longer than wave 1. It just can't be the shortest out of wave 1 and wave 3. So anyway, more work to do there. And anyway, that's all lots of topics to discuss in all of that. But we're just really focused on the day-to-day business of making money. So let's just cruise in. Where are we on the weekly? So we'll just go to the daily. It was 2 days actually, but there's nothing special about 2 days, just keeps it a bit cleaner. So 1 and 2 here, and then going up for, I've got wave 3 up here, as you may know, but this wave 3 can also sit on top of this wave 3 here. That means that we'll be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 3. So we'll be very cautious about that top. And that could all of this here could be brought down a little bit further, but that's not here nor there at the moment. What we're really focused on is from minute wave 2 to minute wave 3 here. We're looking at 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and inside minuet 2 here to 3 here, we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So everything's going according to plan, just not as quick as we would expect it to in this stage of the structure. So let's cruise in a little further here. So we've got blue wave 2, green wave 2, and this grey wave 2 here. So that's kind of where we are. Let me bring in this so we can sort of get that sort of focus. So this green wave 2 to green wave 3, that's what we're sort of focused on at the moment. And I was looking up at 46.50. That is the group 2 area up there. That can all be pushed over here as we move along. So we just focused on, well, we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, okay? So we're going into wave 3. So we're looking for 5 waves between these two chaps here. So let's just continue to focus on that for a moment. But we do have a nice wave 1 here. And once again, if I just use my little yardstick again, this is the length of wave 1, so we could put that at the lower end of wave 2 there, roughly speaking. So we should be up here at minimum, if not even further. So we'll just see how all of that goes. I mean, the thing here is that this pattern across here appears really more like a wave 4 than a wave 2, and people are also looking at it as, people have mentioned to me as an sort of an ending triangle, as an ABC, as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Even if that is the case, then we still need to travel with our 5 waves up here for this. So yeah, there's no, I don't see any bearish pattern in this trend so far, because what we're seeing is impulse waves. All of these are impulse waves to the upside. We're not seeing any impulse waves to the downside. I'm just keeping it really simple at that point. That topic can be discussed in more detail with different structures as well, but that's where we are. And one of the things here is that with the trading levels, we were looking for a nice support on top of group 1, so subgroup 1, 10, 20 and 30. So between 400 and 500 here, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, which makes up group 1, and then the midpoint 50, so we can expect the market to, well, it's already reacted from here, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So we've got group 1 midpoint and group 2 here, and then we've got the 500. So they're the sub levels between two minor levels. And we know that if we get a nice support sitting on top of group 1 here, then the market's not going to be pulled back to the closest largest number, which would be the 400 at this stage. What tends to happen is folks tend to look at the next level, which is the 5 and 5, or the 50, and 5 to me is the second strongest number, and that helps it gets pulled to the upside. So we can always pretty much, well, it's always best to expect a correction at a number 5. It could be 5 cents, $5,000, $5, anywhere you see a 5. So we've seen what we can see here so far. We've seen the market push up, and then we've seen it hit the level and drop back. So a bit of a classic trading levels pattern here, I guess. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. So we can draw this out here. There will be the first high above the level, and then there'll be some type of rebalancing, some sort of correction here, and then it'll try to find support here again, and then push up to the next level here, which in group 2. So when we go from 400 to 500 up here, it's really just the Fibonacci sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So using the Fibonacci sequence as the price ratio. When we talk about when we talk about number 8 here, I also put in 65 and 72 here as well, and that makes up group 2. There's a few reasons for that, but I won't get into that at the moment. Now, I am having a little bit of, so just before I get into my talking about my issues, what we're looking for next is we want support on the 50 here, but it's going to take a little while, a little bit of vibration there, and we always look, because it has reacted there already, because it's arrived at the level and it has reacted, well, then the probability of the rest of this unfolding is certainly really high. I mean, having a correction at number 5, at the level 5, is way up high in the 90% range. The only reason it wouldn't stop there, if we're in some sort of parabolic move, and this is the pattern that we're looking at. So depending on how you trade, if you were, intraday trading, really short term, you could get out over here. I don't normally chase this up here. It's just not worth it. I prefer to, have a cup of tea and come back and pick it up over here and build in on this side. So just putting a horizontal line through here, then you really want to just trade to this point here, have a break, and then start focusing on this over here. And during this time here, you can use it to do your homework and have a look at other markets and stocks and see what's driving it and blah, 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 and then come back over here. Now, this little pattern over here that's moved straight up and back, that will have the same pattern as this larger pattern in here. So the arrival, the reaction. So here you'll see the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. So you can really refine what you're doing at that particular point. Okay, so now my issues is that I'm a little bit unsure how to count this up through here. So I could do it a couple of ways. One way is I could do it this way with wave 1 and 2 here, as we've had since the day dot here, and we'll look at that on the tick chart. But also I could put wave 1 up here somewhere, or up here somewhere. Now, that means that wave 2 would be over here. And the reason I mention that for is because if you're going to, if you're in this trend, and you shouldn't really be getting out if we're in this part of the structure, but let's just take it to there for a moment. That would be the 61.8% here. So you really need to leave your stop out of the way. Now, I know that's a long way away for some people, and it's nothing for other people. So everyone is doing something different, and everybody's got different exposure and so on and so on. So it's a little bit hard to judge, but all I can say to you is that if this is going to be the case, then you will need to accommodate that in your own way as such. Now, the good point here though is that let's just say that we do get this classic trading levels pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC, and then we move in over here for that, which would be the next trade to the upside. So I could just put a green line there as such, because once that's triggered there, what that means, it means that this level now, this 50 has become the tested support. So that's a good thing, because then you can bring your stop up to there. Normally I would just bring my stop up to this point here now that this has got support here, but I'm a bit reluctant to do that because I just don't understand. I understand a lot of this, but I just don't understand. I don't know the exact best way to do it in a safe way. So I'll just stand back from it at this stage. Having this, the other way to count, well, this with wave, I'll just put this back over here just so we remember last time. I'll just go to the tick chart here. How much do we need here? Maybe a bit more. I know that's enough. So we've got wave 1 up here and wave 2 here. So yeah, I have been sort of mucking around with it a little bit. I thought the other way to count it with 1 here and 2 here, yeah, and then blue wave 1 up here and blue wave 2 here, and then pushing up higher at that point. So I'm still a little bit unsure, but we're getting, everything's going according to plan. So like I said, we're getting impulse waves to the upside. This move down through here, this is corrective here. So that's an A wave here, a B wave here, and then we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. So we will take that top out there. This is the 50 here, so we've had the arrival, the reaction, and here we're building up here as 1 and 2, and probably the third wave here and a fourth wave here. And this also looks like it's in, anyway, we're getting impulse waves, to the upside. So everything is good. Okay. Now the Nasdaq is being a little bit lazy, but I think it's sort of ready to go. I mean, when this pushes up through here, I think the Nasdaq will leave the 15,000. So we're going to have a look at that now. So I can just pop that away. Oh, sorry, the Russell first. Yes, sorry, the little Russell. Okay, everything's going according to plan here. It's just an hourly chart here. I won't go to the daily chart today, but yeah, we should do, shouldn't we? We haven't seen it for a little while. Didn't see it last time. So it was looking at it like this here. So wave 3 over here. And this is how I've labeled it as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave for wave 4, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 over here, which will go back to the hourly chart to just refine that a little bit further here. Let me just bring that in. So that's all of that there. So looking good here. This should really move along quite quickly here now. So reference point, get that wave 4 in here. So wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and it's pulled back quite nicely from this low to this high, right back onto the 61.8%, pretty much spot on. And yeah, and I haven't pulled this apart, but it certainly looks impulsive. So we should see some, I mean, it's spent a fair bit of time here, so that would be one hit, that would be another hit, this would be the other hit. So normally the fourth time it will go through when you get to see triple tops, and double tops are never the end of the trend, and so on. So this level here is important. This is also a midpoint as well. So minor level from 200 and 300 is a minor level, and that's the top of group 1. So that's going to be very important to find support on as well, because getting support on 300 will send us to 500, which will be a medium level at that point. But and we should move quite quickly here now, I must say, because of this third of a third of a third here. And we are starting to move a little bit quickly here. So I don't know how, I don't know how long it's going to spend here so much. So if you're thinking of getting in again, then, yeah, maybe just spread the bets out that way or something. And
I mean, you can also navigate it a little bit further as well, because this is the 50 here. Then a tested support on this is minor level, sub level, and then micro level. So the micro level would be 53 as a subgroup one, as micro level group one there. So yeah, the 3. Okay, so that's that really. That's all sort of looking good really. So I think this is a nice trade. I mean, yeah. If you're looking for something, this would be good, you know, because it's got this accumulation process through here as well. If you know Richard Wyckoff's work, he was there around the same time as Gann. He was the man that really established the relationship between the price and the volume, and really they're the two most important things in the market, the price and the volume. The volume confirms the price action. And yeah, so with impulse waves, you should see increasing volume. With corrections, you'll see decreasing volume. People use indicators for that to get divergence, but you can just read that in the volume. So anyway, that's that. Not too much waffling. And yeah, the lazy Nasdaq, mate. So we can, when we have a look at the stocks now, we'll see why it's a little bit lazy, but I think it's just about over at this point. So there may be another little low here, so don't go putting the stop under this low. Okay, so it may just pull down to a little bit lower here, and this will become apparent on things like Amazon when we look at those guys. So there could be just one more little low in here before we start heading higher up through here. Now, as we start moving up through here, then yeah, you want to be building in on top of 100 and 200 and 300 and so on. Okay, so yeah, there's a bit of divergence between this market and the S&P. So let's just go in and have a look at the stocks, which will help us understand that a little bit. This is Amazon here, and we're looking at Amazon as wave 4 here, with wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. The only other count that I could see this fitting here is that this would be a B wave on top, sitting here where that wave 1 is, and that means that wave 4 would be over here and would have an expanded flat, and then this would end up coming down here further before heading higher at that time. But I don't think that we've got the timing for that actually, so in terms of the Nasdaq topping out and all the rest of it. So we'll stay with this. Let's go in and understand this a little bit further now onto the 100 ticks. So as you know, we've got wave 1 up here, and we've been looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here to make wave make wave 2. The 61.8% is a little bit further down here. So from wave B here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. So from 2 to 3 here to 4 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I'm just going to go from 100 ticks into 10 ticks here just to make that a little bit clearer. Didn't need that much, beg your pardon. Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. So anyway, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 down here for that. So we're more interested in this wave 4 here for this, in this case. So I was thinking a couple of things here. We've got to be a little bit careful and here, a bit mindful. So wave 4 here, we can look at this as wave 1 and 2. And we've got 5 waves down here for 3, ABC for 4, and then 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and the fifth wave to have the fifth of the fifth here. Now, the other thing that bothers me a little bit is that this appears to be impulsive up here. So it's possible that this wave 4 could be here, and then that would make this wave 1 here, and wave 2 here, and then this would make all of this down here as wave 3 here, and then we would have another move down. So I just want to talk about that for a moment. The reason for that is this doesn't count very nicely down here as 1. I can see it as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5, but I've also got this here, you know, it looks a little bit impulsive to me. So we need to be a little bit careful where we have the entry. That's all I'm sort of saying. So first of all, if this is a low here, then we would use the top. This is the 300 is a minor level, and we've got our sub levels here, which make up 10, 20, and 30 would make up subgroup 1. So for whatever reasons, if I'm wrong and the market just moves straight up here, then getting support on, well, you could go long on 2 here and then build in on 3 if that was the case. You could build in on here and on here for that, if that was the low there. If we come down here, as I feel that we may, if we come down through to here, then we'll be moving back up to here. Now, in that case, we need to be, that would be wave 4 to wave 5 here. So we want to be above the 38.2% retracement level. So that would be here. So I think still going long on the number 2 would be safe at that point. So we'll still leave it at 3320 to be safe. And then also too, if I've got this wrong, if this 3 here is actually an A and a B or some other type of correction here, and then a C wave here for wave 4, then we're going to have another leg down at that point, and that would also be the 38.2. So we'd have another leg down at that point. So everything into consideration, for a safe trade will be 3320 and then adding to that position on 33 here on the top of group 1. Okay, so that would keep us safe. So you can do whatever you need to do down here, of course, but I'm just looking for the safe trade at that point. So that's the big A. And alphabet here, it appears that from here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'm just guessing. I haven't really looked at that much, or let me just, well, that could just be a third wave. Yeah. Worst case scenario, that low to that high here, we can come down 61.8%. If that's not the case, then we'll have 1 here, and then we'll come down to the 50-60% retracement level, and then move up from there. I haven't pulled this apart. This is 100 tick, so I haven't looked at it on the 10 tick or anything just yet. So yeah, there's a couple of things that it can do here, but just be a little bit mindful of that sort of price action. But yeah, everything is good. We'll just leave the stop out of the way until that resolves itself, and then we can bring it up to that point. We've still got these trades here. So yeah, all in all, Alphabet's looking okay. That so that's that. So yeah, I'm just coming back a little bit to that Amazon, so you can see why it hasn't moved off, and this, you know, this is the NASI hasn't sort of moved off, or probably even the ETFs on that, was that XLK or whatever it is, and Apple here. So with Apple here, we've had we're looking for a classic trading levels pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. I think we're getting there. It's also been very sluggish as well. Just going into the 100 tick chart here for a moment. Let me just bring some more. That's enough. So I'm thinking of all of this from this low here up for 1 here with an well, that's, yeah, an A and a B. It's not quite right either. Where did I? Because that's impulsive here, and that will be corrective. We've got one more move down here for this. So we can expect this market to move down between 145 and 144 before moving up higher. So it's kind of not ready either. And that's why I was thinking, well, if Amazon's going to be moving down and Apple's going to be moving down, then it's going to be hard for the Nasdaq to, you know, get off that 15,000 and can have a little spike down, take out stops, and then head off higher. So that's what I'm sort of concerned about. And Square here, we'll just have a little look at this on the, I think it was a tick chart, wasn't it?
Just bring in a bit more data here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 here, and looking at this as an A and a B and a C. So I think that's done and dusted here. It looks like it's at the 61.8% from here to here. Well, probably deeply in it anyway, so probably 62, 64% or something, but anyway, not to matter too much. So we should see that move up from here now in the next session, so that's good. And that's square. Facebook here, so we've got wave 4 here with 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. We could count this, as I mentioned before, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and finished here for that, but we've got this down here as a corrective pattern. Let's just go to the tick chart. So from this wave to here, we've got a nice 5-wave structure to the upside here. Let me just... These things move in the night. We're looking for this wave 3 here and 4, which will be, they'll be further up there actually. So I was thinking here that we've got from the low here as 1 and 2 here, that really needs to be moved up at that point. We can bring that up to there, a bit of an odd sort of thing, but it's just because of this little extra wave in here for that. This here, I'm thinking that wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, then 3 and 4 and 5 for the A wave. So the B wave, it could be done and dusted already, but otherwise it'll push to here, then to here, and then to here, something of that nature. I could be wrong and it could push straight up from here because there's overlapping wave structures in here. So it could all be finished here as an A wave to here, B wave to here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and finish. But just to let you know, just keeping the stop out of the way, that's all. Obviously, if you want to move into this market, you could wait for that B wave high to come into place, or I'll just put that up there on the 365. Once that gets support there, we want to be building into that. We want to be building into the beginning of this cycle here. So 1, this is 2, so 1 and 2 and so forth. So we're doing all the right things at the right time. I can see that we could have done things better, but that's always the case, isn't it? And Tesla here. There's different ways to count this here, so if you've got a different way to count that, that's absolutely fine as well. The bigger question here is, as I've mentioned before, that we've got wave 3 here. We could have this as an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and building up into a bullish move all the way up here. But I can't really confirm that unless we've got the 800 here, which would be above the 61.8%, and the main number that would be working within that space. If that became the support, then of course we would be going to 1000 at that point. So we'd need a classic trading levels pattern at that 800 for me to actually say with confidence that we're going higher at that point. But otherwise, we just, the reason I'm putting this here for is because it will just make us a little bit more mindful once we get here, that we don't overtrade and we think that it's going to the moon at that point, you know what I mean? And then it turns down and we all get trapped and you start throwing stuff at me again. So we just got to be a little bit careful about this. But this little pattern just here, right, you can see that it's sideways. So it's a corrective pattern, so it should push up from that point. So we could look at this as 1 and ABC for 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So we're going to look, well, anyway, we'll look up here. 750, there's other levels in here that are important as well, just not the 72. There will be, yeah, well, from the 700 is important, of course. Then we've got 10, 20, and 30 that make up group 1. And then we got the 50 at that point. So I was thinking about the 50 here. I've got a very small amount in here myself. So I was thinking about the 50 there. We should put in the 30 as well. That's close enough. That's good. And the 10 here as well. So that makes up group 1. And that means I'll just change this 700 to a minor level here. Just give it a bit more definition. So, yeah, we're trapped in group 1 here, but we still look for that move up. I'll just have a little look on the tick chart just to see
where we're at this point. So I was treating it as a wave 4, so wave 3 here with an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave 4 there. Then we've pushed up here, so I was considering that wave 1. This move here is in 3 waves, so it's corrective, so it will take out that top. But I was thinking this is a little bit odd here, so maybe we're ending up in some sort of triangle for wave 4, because this little move here appears to be in 3 waves up as a B wave, so that means I need to look at this as a C wave here. And if I'm looking at it as a C wave here, then, well, apart from that spiky bit there, I'll have to look at that as basically, yeah, there's different ways to view that as well. So it's a little bit iffy, but I was thinking that there was one more move down, but it's looking quite good actually. But don't be surprised if there's one more move down. It can move up from here, of course, but just you know that there. So if you're going, you could go long again here if you're a short-term trader and go from above that high there. Technically, you should go from that high. So I'm just kind of ignoring that spike there, really. But this wave 2 is a little bit big for compared to wave 1 here. So yeah, maybe we need to put this over here for this, and we haven't actually finished that yet. Some sort of yeah, some other type of correction. Let me just check on something else while we're here. I mean, it's the last chart, I think, anyway. From that wave 2 to that wave 3 here, then that's the 38.2%. So, yeah, it could come down and cover that gap still. The 700 is offering it really good support. And I don't have a good impulse wave to the upside. You know, this is a bit of we've got this gap here, so it's a bit of a guessing game what the hell that is. You know, I've got it as wave 1 because it looks powerful, and also too we could look at this as an A and a B, and a C wave here for that. So there's good reason to look at that as 1, but it's wave 2 is really dragging its feet as well. So this is what the Nasdaq is doing, you know. So maybe this wave 4 needs to go over here, and maybe we will come back down here a little bit further. We've got this gap here as well. So yeah, a little bit tricky. But anyway, as terms, you know, or just you know, I've got a position in it myself. I'm down here somewhere with you guys, whoever's in it. But yeah, this appears to be corrective, so we can push up. But yeah, just letting you know that there could be something like here just to take out all the stops and then head up here. You know, at that 38.2% here, because it's just not doing what it's told. Why is that, Pete? Yeah, so definitely the good news is that this move here is corrective, okay? So that means we will be taking out that high. It's just that this doesn't look impulsive here. It looks like an A wave, a B wave with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And this spike here, I'd probably just have to take that off there for a moment and then re-look at it. So I'm unsure, so I don't know how this is finishing off, but I do know that if you get a tested support on 10 here the next time around, then we should be good to go at that point. But at the same time, be careful that we don't come down to 690 as well. We could certainly come down here for a shorter term as well, and then push up or down here. So yeah, I'm not very helpful in this case, but the trend is still up. The trend is in good faith here, and I will get out at the 750 depending on how I see the structure up here. So we'll just keep working it on an intraday basis, because if I can see a way that we can continue higher and become a bullish count, well then of course we'll stay with that. But getting out at the 61.8%, coming back to the daily chart here, is you know, is a rational move, really, you know, because we don't really have this as a nice impulse wave up here. Do you know? That's the other point with this. I mean, this is playing out quite nicely. This move here is okay, but this one here, this is dodgy as hell, this one. So, yeah, if it was a really nice impulse wave, not a problem. So, but yeah, anyway, enough waffling. I think that's it for that. That's just Bitcoin, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.